Hello, my name is Design Ghost and welcome to another episode of our design series where we learn everything design. If you are new here and you've not subscribed to our channel yet, kindly subscribe to our channel and don't forget to put on some post notifications so that you do not miss any amazing content we post here. Today, we are going to learn how to design a Valcanizer flyer using Photoshop. So without wasting too much of your time, let's delve right into the video. And so you make sure you launch your Photoshop as the software that you are going to use for this particular design. And now we hover to File, New. We are creating basically a new document that we are going to work in. Sometimes some people use an artboard. So if you want your document to be an artboard, you can simply check this box to make sure that it is an artboard. But right now, the design that we are going to do, we don't need an artboard, we just need a normal document. And for that reason, we are going to select a width of 7 and a height of 5 with a 300 resolution, and then we are going to create our document. Beautiful. So this is what we want. Over here are the resources that we are going to use for this particular design. If you want to get these resources to follow along, in the description is a link to our Telegram page where you can find links to download all these resources for free. Okay, so first of all, what we are going to do is that we are going to bring in this tech pattern background. Yes, of course. And then we are going to unlock the layer. We are going to add another layer onto it. Grab our pen tool and make sure it's not on shape. We make sure it's on shape, and then we are going to draw a line shape. So we click, let's see what we got. You can click somewhere here, hold Control and drag it. And then we'll close it up. Great. We make selection. Okay. Control D to deselect. Now we are going to give it a blue. So we go into our gradient, FX, that is the blend options, and we want blue to be the background. Copy the hex code in this part, then we simply paste, and then here we paste again and we take it a little bit up. Yeah, but the blues here are more lighter, so let's take it a bit down. Great. Now we copy the hex code again and we'll paste here. So we can say new gradient so that it's going to add to it. Okay. Now we add another layer. We grab our rectangle with rounded corners and we draw a beautiful rectangle. Correct. And with this, we give it a gradient too. But this time around, not the same gradient, so we can take this off. Take that too off. And this, we can make it look this way. Perfect. Great. Select a rendered rectangle again. Draw another one over it. Increase the corners. And this time around, we choose a red color for it. Position both of them at the center. Ctrl D to deselect. Now let's select this background and bring in this. We'll scale it up. Let's change the blend mode and see if we can get a nice effect. Soft light, screen. Oops. So we need to just reduce the opacity. Grab the eraser tool and clean this line. Great. So we can take that off. Let's bring in our ties. Put that here. Great. Now I grab my rectangle tool again, the rounded corners, and I increase the corners. And then I give it a stroke of white, about 25. Then I reduce the opacity. Great. And then I hold Alt click to make a duplicate of it. The opacity is too low, so let's increase it a bit to about 30 or 35. Oops. So this is 25. We increase this a bit. Yeah, great. I think this is fine. That's why I hold Alt, click and duplicate. Now I can select the two and increase it so that I freshen up with this. Now I'll take it a bit upwards and I can group that. Great. Then one last thing. This is normal rectangle, not a rectangle with rounded corners. So I'll bring in my ruler. Then I draw over it. Perfect. I can take it a bit up and make sure it extends to this part a bit. Ctrl H to take off the rectangles. Then I bring in my images. Great. So I select this first one. I change resolution to about 100. Then I click and drag and place it on the shape. Then I resize it. I change the resolution of this to 200. Then I click, drag to put on the shape. I create my clipping marks and I resize it. Then I can group these and call it images. Now I can add my text. So I select my text then I type Valcanizer. Then I want to use a font style called Space Mono. Space Mono doesn't sit well with me, so let me try DDT. And great. So DDT, Valcanizer. Then I say refined. And detailed Valcanizer. So you can use whatever name that you want or you prefer to use. This is something from my head because of this tutorial, and I'll change the word spacing to -25. -25, and make sure it's in the center. Then Control D to deselect it. Now let's make this appealing. So can rasterize the layer. Bring this image in, drop on it, create clipping mask, and take it to screen or soft light. duplicate this text and I see fix your tiles here. So I duplicate this text, services, Control H to bring my lines, and then services, I grab my text tool, then I want to add another font style, Lufka. Line height of 10. So I'm doing this because of this tutorial. So you find your services that the person that you are designing for renders, and then you type them here. So these become the services. We add some bulletin to it. Oops. Let's delete that. So Control J. So Control J. We select the last one, Control J. Control J again. And we'll find the last two, Control J. So we group them. And we call it bullet. So services, group, services, Control H to take off the grid. Now we add one last thing. For more info, contact, and we add the person's contact. We'll position that here too. So we can group all these and call it test. Yeah. So this brings us to the end of today's episode of our design series. If you enjoyed this particular tutorial, kindly give it a thumbs up and don't forget to share for others to benefit. If you've watched up to this point and you've not subscribed to our channel yet, kindly subscribe to our channel and don't forget to put us on post notifications so that you do not miss any amazing content we post here. My name is Design Ghost and see you in the next episode. Bye.